you guys to think about how many hours a day do you guys are on your cell phone? Well, according to Common Sense Media, teens spend around 7 hours a day on their cell phones. Maybe our parents are right that we spend too much time on our phones. What I think though is we spend so much time on our phones is because phones are so great. I mean, think of all the things you could do with your phone. You could message people, you could search the web, you could share videos with your friends, and also you can use your phone as an alarm clock. And there's even more that says why cell phones are so great. With the research I have found from articles written by experts, I'm here today to tell you why phones shouldn't get the bad rap they receive from our parents. First, I would like to talk about some background on phones. Then I will go into some of the problems that people have with phones, and then I'll go into what are some of the solutions to these problems. So first, I would like to talk about some of the background on phones. First, I will talk about the beginnings of smartphones and how they evolved to what they are today. So first, I will show you the first instance of the first smartphone ever. Here, it was made by IBM, and it was produced in 1982, and later on mass-produced in 1984. This smartphone had features such as it had a touchscreen, you could email people, it could be used as a fax. It could also have notes and calendars, and allowed for 1 hour of talk time. This was a huge invention at the time, but this later evolved into what I believe is the first time where a smartphone combined the essence of the smartphone experience we experience today. Here is the first ever iPhone. It was made in 2007, and some of the specifications include a touch screen, you could email people with it, and an iPod app where you could play music through it. You could web browse, it had maps for GPS location, and also it had 8 hours of talk time. This is a massive improvement where some might say this is the first instance of where the essence of smartphones today started from. Some of the things that this iPhone doesn't have though would be a selfie camera, you can record things, and you can download apps. It just came with the software that was included. Now, I know you guys, phones have evolved even further and they are where they are today, where many of us use our phones for many important things. One thing to take into consideration though is that with technological advancements, there are many concerns that people bring up, which leads me to my next point. So, what are some of the problems with phones? I'd like to talk about how people believe phones can cause cancer, they make us antisocial, and they allow for cyberbullying. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is why people believe that phones can cause cancer. This is suspicion given by scientists that believe that maybe phones that emit radiation signals would be able to cause cancer. In actuality though, this was truly false. As you can see stated by the World Health Organization, to date, no adverse health effects have been established as the cause of mobile phones. As you can see, this is a common myth, and we need to make sure that people know about this. Another problem that people believe is that phones make us antisocial. Now, I know you're familiar that, as I said earlier, we spend 6 hours a day on phone on an average. Even though we spend so much time on our phone, look at what we use our phones to do. This is by the Pew Research Center, where they show how the second most use for the phone is to coordinate getting together with others, and the third use would be catching up with family and friends. That doesn't really sound so antisocial to me. Lastly, I would like to talk about the issue of phones with cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a major issue due to the fact that in many severe cases it has caused people to commit suicide. This is a major issue and it's not going to be debunked, it's a thing that happens. And according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, people with cell phones have more People with cell phones are more susceptible to cyberbullying. This is a major issue that we need to treat. So, what are some of the solutions to these problems? Well, first of all, we need to make sure to spread the truth about misconceptions. There's no factual data to support the fact that phones cause cancer, so we need to make it aware. Second off, we need to know how to use our phone. Like I said, phones are used for social purposes, but I agree with the fact that phones can sometimes be used too much, where, like I said in the beginning, they're used for 6 hours a day. We need to know when it's acceptable to have our phones out and when it's not, and we should put it back in our pockets. The last thing we need to do is educate on cyberbullying. What we need to do is we need to start at the school systems, and we need to make sure that people can identify cyberbullying, they know what to do, and they know what type of people, would know how to reach out to people. So today, I've talked to you guys about why cell phones shouldn't get the bad rep they're received by parents. I've gone over some background on cell phones, I've talked about some of the problems with them, and I've gone over some solutions with them. What I want you guys to take from this is to tell your friends that phones do not cause cancer. I want you to make sure when to use your phone is acceptable and when it's not. Prove to your parents that cell phones are great. Thank you.